Joining us now from my wife's alma mater, Bishop Dwenger Saints.
Go.
Coach Garrett is here with us. Coach, I know that things go fast once we hit the month of July. Let's talk about your Saints coming into this year. More importantly, we'll talk offensive first. We'll talk about the young man been throwing it around for you.
Yeah.
He's a young man that I truly have enjoyed watching get better.
Yeah.
And I think he's put the time in this summer to really show that as well.
Yeah, the prayer has been and continues to be and will be until after Thanksgiving weekend that he stays healthy. Henry Jordan is an outstanding young man, first and foremost. Was nearly a unanimously voted captain. Represents Bishop Dwenger school, football program, community in the highest regard. So we're blessed to have him. He's been unfortunately, injured the last couple seasons. We hope we got that fixed up so we can keep him healthy. He's a leader. He knows the offense. Jason Russell came in the offseason and took over the offense. And he's doing an outstanding job. Tweaked a few things that I think fit Henry better and can capitalize on his strengths. He can spin it.
Yeah.
I think he's a threat to run it, although we're going to be careful with that. And we're blessed to have a lot of seniors around him. They've been on the field the last 2 years with our, Moeller and Brownsburg outings, and we've weathered a lot of storms and embraced a lot of adversity. And I was saying in another interview, I don't know who's learned more in the last 2 years, myself, our coaching staff, or our players. When you just have such great competition that we were blessed to have out of conference and then going through our conference, and then, gosh, the 4A sectional with Leo and East Noble and Wayne, and go through the list, DeKalb. Just the level of competition, the level of football in our area, the last couple of years especially has been elite. So we hope, as we always preach, the process serves itself well, and this is a year where we can, our guys can make a long run.
Well, last year, the group that you had, I thought up front, you had a talented group of kids that were physical at the point of attack. Now, a lot of those guys really helped on defense as well, and your defense was lights out again last year. But up front, how do you look right now in terms of what you're looking at as an offensive line? As we know, you got to be balanced. You got to be able to run the football, protect the quarterback at the important times. But how is your group up front shaping up for this year?
Well, thanks for asking. We are the best we've been, arguably, up front since I can remember 18-19. It reminds me a lot of the group in 2015. Size, we finally feel like we're in that position where we got the size to do what we want to do. If we want to run the ball, to your point, having a balanced attack with the ability to throw it, and Henry back there. So we're blessed. We're 7 or 8. We feel very strongly deep. It's just kind of figuring out what's the best place for some of those guys. Led by Andrew Tryon, who recently was offered and accepted the offer. It would be attending Eastern Michigan, and we got some other guys that have some interest. But you start talking about size up front. We're back into that realm of averaging 240, 250. That's good. That's where we like to be. We haven't been there in the last 4 or 5 years, and so it all starts up there. In fact, I was blessed. Jason Beanie was out of town, so they let me coach the O-line the other morning. I was so excited. They weren't excited. My hat was backwards, and we were going. I said, and I told them it just comes out sometimes. Like, if you guys want to win a blue ring, this is where it starts. Offensive line. I've been around the game long enough. It starts in the trenches. You got to be physical. You got to be able to do the things you need to do. Those games late in September, October, and especially in November, if you need a yard, you got to be able to get it. So
absolutely,
we're really excited. God willing, stay healthy. Right?
Yeah, Jason Garrett, the head coach for Bishop Dwenger, joining us. Talk about the defensive side of the ball. Some bright spots there. What you see shaping up out of that Saints unit on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, this might be the most veteran, fastest, most physical group we've. Again, I have to compare it probably to 18. Comparable to them, I'm telling you, this is a fast, physical, veteran-laden group. The benefit of having Tryon going both ways, and maybe a couple other guys from the offensive line, in our front three, and We got some length at defensive end. We got speed and physicality at the outside linebackers, and with our scheme, the 3-3, running our Rangers in the alleys, being able to cover the edge, and then also being able to cover in the back end. So we're excited.
You talk about the development of these guys year after year. One of the big things I think for a place like Bishop Dwenger, we talk about the youth development in the grade schools, the CYO program. How long term, how beneficial? What does that exactly mean for Bishop Dwenger as a program year after year to have such strong, St. Vincent, St. Charles, a lot of those schools, the Catholic schools in the area, to get there. So by the time they get to Bishop Dwenger, they're just another piece of the puzzle that you guys can fit in there.
Yeah, I mean, the CYO goes without saying how important that is, and I think we're seeing some trending here with the public schools now starting their own leagues and seeing the benefit. We facing East Noble, facing Leo the last couple of years in the sectional championship. I mean, those are small towns with all those kids going. Put a baseball analogy on them, go down to Jasper, and the whole city's wearing Jasper baseball hats. So there's tremendous advantage when you have, for us, we've got feeder schools for these public schools, feeder schools, and then those young kids getting together, having fun at the youth level. At the end of the day, we want them to have fun, and when they enter their freshman year, that they love and they've always dreamed of wearing a gold helmet. The other thing that helps us with that is through our faith, having so many families that should continue to bring their kids, their grandkids, their great grandkids into our program. And I think somebody was asking the other day, it's always the quote unquote tongue in cheek, the Tippmans that are at Bishop Dwenger, and I'm guessing we are close to half of our team now is a Tippman relative, and that speaks to the lineage. It speaks to our ability to be able to bring those families continuously through our program. Not like what these smaller, the East Nobles of the world and others, they have that advantage, right? Those families just grow up with those colors, and those kids can't wait to get on the field. So we're blessed, and it's, you still have your ups and downs. You have your small classes, large classes. That was our smallest senior class, maybe in 10, 20 years that went through Dwenger last year. Now we got one of our largest classes coming in. So, there's always that ebb and flow. But, yeah, the long-term lineage, programmatic piece, we're blessed for sure.
Absolutely, Coach. I appreciate you. We're definitely gonna be following the Saints. Hopefully, we get you a game with 1380 The Fan and covering. And I know you've got a tough one week 1 heading on to Roncalli, and that'll be a great matchup. But we wish you the best of luck, and we'll get you up a little bit later down the road.
Well, I appreciate you guys. All you do, that's the most important thing. So thank you,
Coach Jason Garrett from Bishop Dwenger Saints, as they head into a very promising looking offense and defense. I do think they have a offense that can put the points on the board, and they had a defense that is going to be lights out again. So we can't wait to see what the Saints bring to the table.